in the NFL draft.
Hey, make us lunch. We're hungry.
Yo, everybody, how you doing? Once upon a time, not so long ago, in the early days of Andy Reid, there went a younger Philly 500 who moved to a place called Maryland. Now, once in Maryland, Philly 500 and a friend decided to go to a Philadelphia Flyers Washington Capitals game. Now, on the day of the game, they made their travels to the city named DC, which stands for the capital. Now, once they got to the capital, they went into an arena. And in this arena, they began to have a few beers. They drank and they laughed and they went to the arena and their seats. They watched the game. They were put on a Jumbotron so everybody knows Philly 500 was there. He dime tricked them. He waved. He made himself known. Now, after the Philadelphia Flyers crushed the Washington Capitals, they decided to go back to the place where beer flows like honey. And they did. And they went there. And to their surprise, it was packed with Flyer fans. And in the center of the Flyer fan went one Craig Berube. And Philly 500, he had to meet Craig Berube. So he did, very shortly. Then, as him and his friend sat around drinking beers, enjoying themselves, this little troll hobbled to them. He walked like a penguin. He looked like a really big penguin with teeth and beards and hair out the ears. But he was a troll nonetheless. Philly 500, he tried to talk to the troll nicely, but he also tried to get away from the troll. But the troll kept talking. And this is where our story begins, of the Eagles fan, the troll, and the player. Now this troll started to talk. Yeah, we're over here and I'm with this Washington Redskin guy and he's got a limo and we're all going out and he's paying for everything. Would you like to come with us because you seem pretty cool? And Philly 500 responded, nah, I'm all right. Thank you anyways, but I don't really appreciate having other people pay for me that I don't know. Now, he didn't say all that to the guy, but that's what he thought. But he declined. So the troll began to talk some more and then questioned Philly 500 again. Several times, in fact. He kept asking, are you going to come with us? We're going to go out. It's going to be fun. Philly 500 said, no, I'm good. And Philly 500, trying to be a nice guy, trying to do the right thing, jokingly said, it's all right. I'm an Eagle fan. At this point, the troll began to get mad. He began to growl and snarl. His fangs were out and he was pissed off. He turned to Philly 500, who was maxing and relaxing and chilling, and he began to swat at his beer. He began to swat at his open cup of beer, and Philly 500 doesn't spill his beer, all right? Now, as this troll began to swat, Philly 500 noticed something. He noticed that the little troll couldn't reach the beer because he was holding it up. And when I held it up, he jumped 2 inches off the ground with his 5'6" frame, and he swung as hard as he could, and he swung as hard as he could, like a little kid with a piñata. And Philly 500, being the nice guy he is, who laughs really hard, who when he laughs, his legs go out and he begins to fall. Philly 500 began to fall, and at what point the troll swatted his Phillies hat. his beautiful Phillies hat, brand new Phillies hat. Philly 500 turned to look. Where's his hat? All while holding the beer up. And when Philly 500 turned around, he noticed the Washington Redskin was holding his hat like this in this hand, which he proceeded to throw down steps. Now, Philly 500 started to get pissed off. He wasn't happy. He wanted his hat. And as Philly 500 turned back to say something to the troll, who he was ready to swat away, the Redskin walked in. The Redskin with the record of, like, who knows, they stunk. But he comes in and trying to be the peacekeeper, so he thought. He put his hand on Philly 500's chest and was like, back off. At which point, Philly 500 grabbed his hand and said, get your 3-13 stinking hands off me. And Philly 500 threw his hands away. At what point, the Redskin looked at him, stepped up, mano a mano. And he said to Philly 500, what did you say? And Philly 500 said, I said, get your 3-13 stinking hands off me. Now, they were eye to eye. But one thing about a lot of these guys' heights, they're always bigger than what they tell you. And this guy was clearly not as big as listed, because him and Philly 500 was even. Now, he may have had 15 or 20 pounds on Philly 500. Back in the day, Philly 500 was in pretty good shape. And he's working on it now, don't worry. But as things were going on and progressing, Philly 500 was ready. He was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. And they stepped in, they were getting ready. And all Philly 500 could think at this point is, I'm the greatest Eagle fan. I'm the greatest Eagle fan because I'm about to fight a Washington Redskin. Bring it on, let's go. I'm ready to fight a Redskin right here. And at that point, Philly 500 thought that a swarm of security guards filled them, got in between, and scattered everything. Was chaos. And Philly 500 snuck away to find his hat. And when Philly 500 turned the corner, a security guard gave him his hat very nicely. But then they separated Philly 500 and the Redskin. At what point Philly 500 witnessed the Redskin have to leave with his friends. And on the behalf of the Redskin, he was drunk and he couldn't even walk straight. Now, Philly 500 was ready to leave. He was ready to get kicked out. At which point, he was surprised when the bartender said, you're good, you can stay, you did nothing wrong. And Philly 500 was so happy. And everybody in there, including Greg Berube maybe, saw Philly 500 almost go up against a Redskin. And with all the Philly fans, they bought him beer and bought him drinks, patted him on the back, and it was an amazing night. One of the greatest nights for a hockey game ever. The end. Now, my question to you viewers out there is this. Who was that player? If you can guess it, I'd be shocked. Put it on my comment section. We'll see. We'll mention you. Maybe a little prize. We'll see. Well, I don't know. But if you can get the name of this player, I'd be shocked. Now, here's the hint. Here's the hint. This player, about 3 weeks to a month later, was cut by the Redskins, and he signed with the Eagles. Of all teams, he signed with the Eagles. Can you believe that guy stinking signed with the Eagles? But Philly 500, he doesn't hold grudges. He forgives, and he moves on. So, If you want to guess it, I would love to hear who you think this was. I look forward to it. Thank you for letting me tell you. Take care and don't be a dingbat.